It's more so when we were filming and I'm in the scenes. I am so, even in the serious moments, I am so not serious. And I know it was frustrating to the other actors that I literally every different take I said some off the wall line that just was like, what? Like, just to throw everybody off. Just I just wanted to just to throw everybody off, keep them on their toes. If you look at each take where I said something crazy that he just couldn't hold it together.
All right, everyone, welcome back to an all-new Left of Straight Show interviews. Today, I'm very happy to have back in the studio with me the fantastic Anthony Bawn is here. Anthony's become one of the most exciting multi-hyphenates to watch, a filmmaker, an actor, a storyteller, whose work blends emotional honesty with a great queer perspective and sharp human observation. I've followed his career since he brought his amazing cast from his film As I Am on the podcast. I still keep in touch with my buddies Tom and Andre. And that stands out to me about Anthony's direction, just how confidently he centers identity, vulnerability, and connection without losing wit or accessibility. With Almost Us, his newest film, Anthony appears to push that even further, bringing laughs, awkward romantic misfires, heat, and heart to a queer rom-com set in Phoenix, Arizona. It also explores politics, power, legacy, and the community's survival. He also, just if he hasn't doing enough work as director, is co-starring as Jason, adding another layer to the project. So excited to talk to him all about this and more. Please welcome back to the show the very handsome, the very talented Mr. Anthony Bawn. Anthony, how you doing, sir?
I'm doing great. How are you? And it's good to see you again.
Good to see you again. It's been a hot minute. We made it through what? A pandemic, a writer's strike, a director's strike, everything in between.
Yes.
We're still standing. So that's pretty
We're
good
here.
on us, right?
Yes, we're still here.
I love it. Well, thank you so much for sending me a screener of the new film. Absolutely fantastic. I love the way you shoot things to begin with, but wow, such a great film. When it was given to me as a rom-com, it's like, this has more dramedy. There's some drama in here, dude. It's like the ending part, I wasn't expecting much at all. We're not going to go into the last 20 minutes, but thank
Right.
you, Mr. Twist. Well, I'm excited. You've been doing lots of work since we talked last. I mean, some television directing, getting these features going. Talk about the career. How's everything been going for you?
I I feel I'm very grateful to continue to work. And that's all I can. That's kind of sort of all I can be say. Just to be able to continue to work, to be creative, and also have a team behind me. My business partners, they are like really supportive of me, like really thrusting myself into everything that I put my brain to. Sometimes they have to tell me, no, you can't do that. No, that's not. No, we can't do that, which I need. I need that because it helps me streamline what I need to focus on. So, yeah, I'm just grateful.
Well, it's fantastic. I mean, you write most of your own stuff. Talk to your co-writing Almost Us. Talk to me how
Mhm.
that project came to you guys. Was it did it come to you guys pretty quickly? Was there a lot of collaboration back and forth thing? How did the
Mhm.
project come to life?
Yeah, so me and Ben, I reached out to Ben. I worked with Ben Wright, who's also the co-writer of Almost As. I worked with him for Conframa, the TV series, and he helped co-write Conframa, the TV series as well. So I was like, let me recircle back around and try to see how we can collaborate. And we had a few meetings to see what we can land on it. And I told him my idea. I wanted to do a rom-com that was queer focused, but with people of color in the forefront. Because I have not seen it. My experience. If it's out there, please correct me if I'm wrong, but I have not seen it. So I was like, I want to do this and I want to do it in a way to which it was interesting because I chose to write myself in it because I was like, I've always wanted to be an actor in the beginning anyway. So I that's where I started. And then I kind of fell behind the scenes and that's why I kind of stayed there for a long time. But then when I got into the movie for Amazon Studios, Sitting in Bars with Cakes, and I was featured in that movie, that kind of gave me the itch of like, you know what, I probably can still do this. Cause once I had to audition for it and I had to sing opera, and the lady the director, not the lady, the director, she directs all the Pitch Perfect movies, and she
Right.
loved my audition and she cast me to be in the movie. So I was just so honored that she chose me, handpicked me to be in the movie. So it kind of gave me the itch of like, you know what, I want to try, give it one more go to see how it works. And that's kind of sort of how, I wrote myself into this movie.
Well, it's just amazing to see both sides of it from your actor's perspective and the director's perspective. What did it turn out to? This is like a meaty role here that you're directing yourself in. Did
Yeah.
you find it more difficult? Was it actually more easier for you? Or talk about the prospect of directing yourself. What did that feel like for you in such an expanded role?
Um, Honestly, because there was so much drama behind the scenes, while I was in front of the camera, it was easy for me to not to forget about what was going on outside of being in front of the camera. So I was like, when the camera was rolling, we were having fun. We were just doing it. We was having fun. But then, camera stopped. Then I had to go immediately worry about a million other things. But yeah, I felt it was easy if that makes sense.
No, it does. I've had, like I said, I've heard it go both ways for different people. Some, especially when you're the writer and everything involved, you kind of have an idea of the
Yeah.
character in your head already, right? So you kind of know
Mhm.
the direction you want it to go. So you don't have to tell the director. I mean, no actor likes a lot of direction from the director, but they like to hear input, and you already know where you're
Right.
heading. So you got a bonus
Exactly.
there. I like it.
Right.
How would you how would you define your directing style overall? How would other actors define your style?
Well, because I'm an actor first, so I know how to communicate with other actors in terms of character development. So I think that's where my uniqueness in as a director comes from because I help them understand what the character is going through scene by scene, and we really pay attention to the subtext, their beats, and marking their understanding in the development of the lines throughout the process. Cause I think most directors won't take the time to do that because they're relying
Right.
on the actors to do that work. But what I like to do is that I like to make sure that all actors understand what they're doing because it's a good performance for them. And also I have a 3 take rule on all of my shows that I do.
Nice.
You only get 3 takes and we're moving on. Time is money, and I don't have time to do 12, 15 takes of anything.
Wow, I love that. I'm sure some actors that freaks them out and some really enjoy that, so that's pretty cool.
Yeah,
I
they
love
get
it.
freaked out a lot.
I have recently, and I've been thinking about this since I saw your movie the other day. I recently got to have Danielle Nicolette on the show. She did her first full directing feature for a
Mhm.
thriller for the AMC All Black Network. And Danielle was from The Flash. She played Jesse L. Martin's wife in The Flash on 5 seasons and everything. You guys have very similar and congruent directing styles. I would love to see a project of you two together because you guys are
Okay.
both amazing directors. So I will have to do a little introduction if you don't know her already.
Right, I would love to meet her.
Let's talk about chemistry and casting. I mean, you are spot on in your casting. Do you rely on an outside company to do that? Did you do it yourself? I mean, I remember Andre, you had him all the way from your Cheetah in August, so you've worked with him
Yeah,
for quite a while, and now you have
yeah.
Audrey, Isaiah, and Devere that are so well together. Talk about your
Mhm.
casting process and the chemistry you find on set.
Well, Andre is a gem. There's no one like Andre. And it was just such an honor to just work with him and over and over and over again, because it's like every time there's a certain magic there that can't like be replaced. So Andre is just a gem. I love Andre. In terms of casting everybody else, Haley was the only one that auditioned for the movie. She
Really?
plays Lisa, yeah, she plays Lisa Bennett in Almost Us. She was the only one who had to audition because she came through an agency. Everyone else, I reached out to them directly and I said, "Hey, can you participate in this movie?" But Isaiah and Shannon, they were not supposed to be in the roles that they have. They were very, very small cameo roles that was written for, I mean, like one-liner roles that was written for
Wow.
them. Yes, but again, this goes back into all the drama behind the scenes that occurred, that I had to ask them. I said, "Hey, this is what's happening. This is what's going on. Do you feel that you can step up to play this larger role in this project?" And both of them said yes. And that's how they got the roles that they got.
That's amazing. I wouldn't see many other way. I didn't know about any backseat drama. We're gonna have a special behind the curtain episode with you down the line here, but um,
Right.
you can never tell. I mean, it's just fantastic. And Isaiah, I mean, he kind of reminds me of Andre. He has demands presence on screen,
Hmm.
and you two had a great chemistry together. So that's fantastic. Love that.
Hmm. Yeah.
Um, talk about, I mean, there's great themes in there. We talk about power inside a family and company dynamics there, and you have this community center so important to neighborhoods
Hmm.
these days when everything's going to hell everywhere else. Talk about
Yes.
where these themes came to you and your writing partner.
I really wanted to make it the forefront of, because community centers, just from my experience and dealing with other people, having conversations with other like-minded queer individuals growing up who were like estranged from their family, the community centers were the only places that they could go to
Yeah.
cultivate their talent, to find another family, to also have places to eat, shelter, all those things. So, and the fact that this current administration is pulling funding from so many nonprofit organizations is insane, because if you're pulling these resources from the younger youth who identify as queer, non-binary, or whatever, then you're stripping away an element of them learning more about themselves from other like-minded people. So that's the importance of the community center in this movie.
Well said. Yeah, I mean, we talk about chosen family so much, and it's so important in the communities to have that out there. So I love the way you said that. Um, how do you balance the humor of it all? I mean, there's some funny lines in here, some great funny moments in there as well. Was that kind of fun to balance that? Was it hard or was it fun to balance that?
You know, it's funny because Um, I was just having this conversation with my husband the other day, and I told him how nervous I was for this film. I was extremely nervous. I even talked to my mom before the screening of the film, and she said she'd never heard me so nervous in my voice about the movie, because comedy is so fickle. It's like you don't know a person's funny bone. You don't know their sense of humor. So it could go either way. It's like a 50-50. So I was extremely nervous because I didn't know what people would think. So it was so refreshing to, when we were sitting in the screening of it the other day, and the audience was just laughing and every joke landed. I was like, ooh, I was like, because because I did not know how it was going to be perceived. So I would say the comedy part was extremely hard because I'm only thinking of what I would perceive to be funny, and I hope that it translate. Yeah.
Very much so. I thought the bits that I saw, they landed well, and they say that all the time, right? Drama's easy, comedy's hard. So, yeah, it's
Yes.
definitely, I see where you're coming from. Um, what are you hoping the audience feel coming away from the film?
Coming away from the movie, I really, really want people to know that it's okay if you don't have it all together. It's okay to if you don't know everything, and it's okay for you to be human because being human is being messy sometimes. And also not being able to understand where you're going next. And it's okay that you have to navigate through ambiguity to figure out what life is going to be like. So when you walk around with the understanding of, oh, I this is what I'm going to do, this is what I am. Some people are good with that, but I want the people who don't feel as though that they have it all together to understand that it is okay.
Nice. And you talked about your husband a second ago. What
Mhm.
is he? I mean, there's nothing graphic here, but you're getting it on with a couple of very handsome men there. What did your husband think about that?
I you know, he's not surprised. He's not surprised because he knows that what I'm doing, like what I do and what I'm doing is like it's for cinema. It's for and he's an entertainer too. So it's like he's been in some of my projects as well. So it's like he's an entertainer too. So he gets it. So he understands it. So it's I mean, I don't know why. I never really asked.
Could have a conversation after brunch someday. Who knows what's going to
Right,
happen there.
right, right.
So it's been 4 years since I talked to you, and like I said, I absolutely loved As I Am, and this
Mhm.
movie as well. How do you feel that your voice and your style has evolved over the last 4 years?
Ooh, that's a good question. As I Am was also shot in Arizona. I feel as though that the style of it has wow, I don't know how to answer that question because I feel it's just I navigate through what I see is best for each project. And I think how As I Am was handled and how Almost Us was handled was rightfully so for each individual projects. In terms of, I mean, I think technique wise of shooting, quality of production, storytelling, certain things I did do that I didn't quite have back then was the understanding of how to structure a film
Okay.
because I'm normally used to doing like and when starting out, I was doing TV shows mainly. So those are like 20, 30 minutes, but then As I Am was my first film feature that I ever done. So with that, I was still trying to understand the process of transitions, the process of elongating certain things or process of letting certain scenes build rather than just jumping ahead. Because at the point, I was so conditioned of like, oh, this is lingering on this too long. So we need to cut here and move forward. But sometimes with a film, you have to let it breathe in
Yeah.
order for folks to understand the world that and the story that you're presenting. So I guess that's what I've learned from As I Am to Almost Us.
Oh, that's a great answer. And you have to be very much in the present whenever you're doing this, right? I mean, as you
Yes.
said, you have behind the scene drama, you have what's going on in camera. So whatever project you're on, you're very present for and in the present. So I can definitely understand that. Let's talk about, I mean, Mr. Multi-Hyphenate, as I said, between I didn't realize about the singing the opera part from the Cake movie. But let's
Yeah.
talk about now you're a developing partner for VIM Media,
Yeah.
talking about content creation and a new platform. Talk about how that came about and what your
Yeah.
goals are for that.
Well, I am the one who founded Vim Media. I founded it. I started it back in 2017 as his own streaming platform. We had did a partnership with Vimeo at the time, right in the beginning of the booming of streaming platforms. We were the one of the first companies to be in that line. But then quickly what things that I realized is that content is king. And if you don't have a budget to produce content, then you lose an audience. So that's one thing that the learning curve that we had back in 2017 and over time is developed into various other different things until last year, 2025, me and my business partners, we had a conversation to where it's like, listen, we're not audience is still building. It's really not there yet. We're still trying to build an audience, but we're spending so much money in tech fees on maintaining and keeping this platform alive. So we had to figure out a way to pivot. And because I am, like how you said, I wear many hats. What a lot of people don't know, I have a very extensive background in IT. So on top
Nice.
of filmmaking, I have a background in IT, and told my business partners, "Hey, listen, you know what? I will take the last 3 months of the year in 2025. I sat down, we fired our tech company that was hosting our website, and I built our own platform on my own, my streaming
Wow.
platform on my own. I programmed all the mobile apps, I programmed the TV apps, and yeah, so
That is impressive. Oh my goodness. And streaming is a lot different today than it was in 2017. I mean, well, back in
yes,
the day, there was a couple of web series and things like that. Now you have full-fledged television, sports, TV shows, and the whole nine yards. So it's a big
yes.
difference. And the whole AI of it all is making things change quicker than anyone ever thought, right?
Yeah, exactly. I actually, it's so funny that you mentioned AI because I literally just finished a feature with AI, and I used an AI actor for the very first time in one of my projects. So stay tuned for that one.
How, now you did all the prompting for it and everything, or did you have someone else do it, or did you?
Everything. No, I did it all.
Oh,
I did it all. I did it all.
you have to get back when that comes out. I'd love to hear your experiences on that.
Yes.
Amazing. Well, Anthony Bawn, we're going to do a couple of my fun little goofy 5 questions with in a second, but remind everyone where they can find this, when it's going to debut, where they can find it on VIM.
Yes, so you can find Almost Us on watchvim.com airing April 16th. And you can pre-order it now if you want to on the website. Yeah.
Fantastic. Well, I got 5 goofy questions for you, so let's get a little random here.
Okay.
What question number one, what's the most chaotic or funny moment you've have on set that turned into a habit in all doing all these directing? Do you have a habit now on sets that's either funny to some people or chaotic to some people or flat out annoying to other people?
Well, during it's more so when we were filming and I'm in the scenes. I am so even in the serious moments, I am so not serious. And I know it was frustrating to the other actors that I literally every different take, I said some off the wall line that just was like, what? Like, just to throw everybody off, just to throw everybody off, keep them on their toes, especially Isaiah. Like, when we were doing our scenes together, it was like, if you look at each take where I said something crazy that he just couldn't hold it together.
That's actually my second question. So let's go there. So now that you're acting full time in this thing as much as you're directing, who
Mhm.
breaks character first, you or the other actors?
Probably me.
Do you?
Probably me. More than likely, it will be more than likely me. But
At your own
I, w-
stuff or something they do?
I would say it will mainly be something that they do because if I'm directing and I'm in a scene and somebody is doing something like off to the side, I'm like, what are you doing? And then the cinematographer James he was like, Anthony, stay in it. I said, oh, yes, I'm here. Yes.
I love that. That's great. All right, so you are based in Phoenix now. I mean, your series, Scottsdale, everything, we're talking desert all the time.
Yeah.
What is your favorite desert survival snack if you're stuck out there in the deserts of Arizona?
The snack?
Yeah, what's a
Lord.
favorite
I would
desert thing?
say, I mean, my favorite snack would be chicken wings. Yeah.
That's universal everywhere, right? I like that.
Yeah. I mean, most people probably say water. No, I want some wings.
I like it. Question number 4. Your character, Jason, he likes those clubs. What
Mhm.
song is Anthony Bawn energy playing at the clubs?
Ooh. Mine would definitely be Juicy J, Bands to Make Her Dance.
Ooh, nice choice. Very cool. All right, and back to let's see if you should answer this or hubby. Let's talk about, are you flirty or awkward or both? And what character from any of your films would steal your heart first?
What character? Okay. Well, first of all, I am very flirty. That's natural with me. What character would steal my heart from any of my projects?
From any of your projects?
That will be interesting. That would steal my heart. That's hard to say. Well, if I would say Marcus from Almost Us.
Okay.
Yes, I would say he would probably be the one that would steal my heart. That character, yes.
Good answer. I like Marcus. Well, Anthony Bawn, it's been absolutely amazing having you back on the program. Let everyone know, can they find, just through them, a reminder of where they can find the project and follow you on social media?
Yes, you can watch Almost Us streaming April 17th on WatchVIM.com. And you can follow me on all social media at Anthony Bawn.
All right, and we're going to play the trailer for the film right after this, so be sure to look for that and be there on opening day, April 17th. Anthony, thanks so much for taking the time. Stay on the line for me. Guys, we'll see you next time on an all-new episode of Left of Straight Show Interviews. Have a great day.
You got a visitor.
I've never witnessed anything like this.
I'm sure.
Yeah, there's a lot of culture within these walls.
Yeah, the rawness, it was impeccable.
Is he trying to be funny?
I think he's trying to be funny.
Oh, okay.
Is everything okay?
I don't want you to try to showcase me to your family.
Clearly, Jason is outside of his element.
Hi, Yella.
Oh.
Is he talking about me?
Not me.
Oh, not Denise.
From what I've heard, you two haven't been seeing eye to eye lately.
It's nothing to worry about. Couples do tend to go through challenges from time to time.
Jay, you need to fix this.
I just cannot let you tear down the center. I just can't let you do it.
What's the matter, D?
Lisa, we're going into these communities and destroying all of their culture and history.
B-5-O-bum.
I suggested that you use your ass in order to help the community center. Is that still your mission?
You're playing a dangerous game.
What does that mean?
Nobody likes being single, not even you.
You would think that I would be
Gay?
I wasn't gonna say that.
Why not?
He is gayer than sweet tea at a truck rally.
Marcus can act as sort of a buffer between us. That way everyone gets what they need out of this situation.
And you okay with this? You's a nasty bitch. But I like it.